Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In the previous video we used my website as an example to practice web scraping, and today we're going to explore basic filtering in Pandas. And I'll link the previous video in the description if you haven't seen it yet. And just a quick note, before scraping any website it is always recommended to get the owner's permission to avoid violating terms of service. But since you are watching this video, you have my permission to use my website for any data automation practice. So the idea will be to get data in a table format. So if we go to the YouTube section of my website, which is www.lazydatadev.com, we will see that we have this very simple table of 4 columns and I think 15 or 16 rows for now. And I will be updating this table with each video that I post on my YouTube channel. So let's copy the URL, and I've already created a Jupyter notebook, so I'm going to import pandas as PD and use a URL variable and paste the link here. And then we can create a data frame using the read HTML method. And this will return a list of all tables that are available in this URL. And since I only have one table, then I can access it using its index number, which is 0. And if we use the dot shape, it's going to return a tuple of showing the number of rows and columns. So in this case, we have 4 columns and 16 rows. By the time you're watching this video, I expect that the rows will be more than 20. And if we want to get and to see the first, let's say 5 rows, then we can use the get method. And now let's first see how to select a single column. Select a single column. I will command this. And it's extremely easy. If we want to select, let's say, the tech column, all we need to write is df and in square brackets tech in single or even in a double quotes, it's still going to work. And then if we want to select multiple columns, it's once again very easy, but this time we need to pass all columns in a list. So if I want to get the tech column and the level column, then we need to pass those as list. And now let's see some very basic filtering. So let's filter all the rows where the tech is VBA. So I'm going to write a comment here, filter all rows based on condition. So we can write df tech equals sign VBA. And if I now click Control Enter, this will return a series object or a column with true and falses. And then if we only want to get the entire data frame where this condition is met, then this is going to be our filter. So we need to pass this to the data frame, and it returns all records where tech is VBA. Then I guess the next logical example will be to filter all the rows where a cell value is not equal to something, and all we need to do is simply to change the operator to not equal to. So this is the Pythonic way of writing less than or greater than, as we normally write in Excel when we want to compare that something is not equal to something else. And it returns only 3 rows for now, because so far my channel is above all about VBA videos, but I'm working towards changing this. and you will see more videos about Python and SQL soon. The next filter example that we can take a look at is to filter data by multiple condition. So let's write here filter data by multiple criteria. And let's get all the rows where tech is VBA and level is beginner. So we can write here df tech, and let's have more space. df tech equals VBA and df level equals beginner. Hopefully I haven't mistyped this. And for this to work, the single conditions must be enclosed in parentheses, and now we can pass this to the data frame. So this is end clause. And if we want the or condition where either the tech is VBA or level is beginner, then all we need to do is replace the ampersand with a pipe. And this should work. And then the next example we can take a look at is to filter rows where a cell value is one of many things. So let's filter all the rows where the tech is Excel or Python. And one way to do this is obviously using the OR clause. So I can change this to Excel and this to tech and this to Python. And this returns the 3 rows we saw above. But I think there is a more common scenario that you may want to use. And this is using the isin method. So we can write df.tech.isin and here pass the list of Excel, comma, Python. And now if I click Control Enter, it will return a series object of trues and falses. So if we pass this to the data frame, it's gonna filter based on it. And it still returns these 3 records. Another example that we can take a look at is to filter all rows where a cell value contains text. So we can for instance filter all the rows where the notes column contain, let's say, the word loop. I think I've used this a lot to describe what my videos are showing. So if I write df of notes dot string that contains, and we need to pass here the word loop. This once again returns a series object, a column of true and false. So we can pass this to the data frame and it's going to return these 5 rows. Now, none of the filtrations that we did actually changed the data frame object. And if I write df Control Enter now, then we will see that it still contains these 16 rows. If we want to make the changes in place, then we should reassign the data frame. And one way to do this, if we want to return all these 5 rows, is to simply write df equals this. And if I now click Enter, and now if I click df, now it already contains only 5 rows. What many people are doing, and I think it's the better way, is to use another variable name. So something like filtered df, and then to use this. So this will avoid changing the source data, so to say. And lastly, let's actually use this filtered data frame and export it to an Excel file. So filtered df dot to Excel, and actually I think I have a folder for this. So I'm gonna copy it and actually write here variable file name and pass a row string. I will call this file loop underscore videos.xlsx, and now we can write filtered df.toExcel and pass here the file name variable. And I don't want this row indicators in the Excel file, so let's write index equals false. I can run that, and this is the Excel file. And it contains only those rows where the notes column contain the word loop. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, then please drop them in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.